Let me do a few Lemire fights while we get used to her. What are your moves like? Oh, that's sick. I like that. What about this one? That's okay. I don't really like that other one. The Bellow. I only have 4 moves, though. I love that. That's good. Thank goodness this isn't like Kisara, where she can guard. I thought she was only going to be able to guard, but she could still dodge roll. She shouldn't be too hard to play as. Where am I going? Oh, up there. Dude, I can't believe she says something line. I'm never going to get over that. Do I do a couple Lemire fights to hope I can get the Nox gauge filled in more of the area? I feel like I do. Plus, I want to play more with Yufa. It's at 69.
Lemires detected.
I don't want to be Doll. No, thank you. No offense to Doll. I love that corkscrew attack. It's doable. Just fight a few Lemire portals and we'll be able to get there. Something line. Where can I find some more Lemires? Is that how that works? Will it just like do that? I feel like that's how it works. I'm not sure. Hey, take this, loser. I got a giant hammer. How does this work? I can't use it when I'm obviously. I have to be a Monstrum. Is that used for like breaking stuff? Green UEF, welcome to stream. First time here, I see. It says first time viewer. I have to ask, did you name yourself after Reen from Cold Steel? Because Reen is the name of the main character from Cold Steel. How's it going? I'm doing pretty good. How you doing? Good to see ya. Where can I find more vortexes? Oh wait, that's a pedal up there. The boy wants that. Go, Yufa, go. Got it. He and Credo just jinxed each other. Bum, bum. Yes, and the UEF means ultimate Emma fanboy. Oh, I love that. Emma is a waifu. She's not best girl in Cold Steel, but she is she's up there. Good name, I like that. Just passing time. Good, good, nice. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Where are these vortexes? I just want to get a few of these and hopefully we'll get a Grimwald Eos. That's my plan right now. These vortexes at something line. Can't get over that. It's so hilarious. Where can I find these vortexes? I'm gonna go over here to the center. My name is a reference to the story I ever made. Yeah, I remember you told me by your name too. I remember briefly, not entirely, but briefly hearing about that. Hi, Aprilis. Wonderful weather we're having. Oh, don't mention it. Didn't think you'd concern yourself with the kinds of things, Aprilis. Thought all you cared about was killing Lemire's. Well, generally speaking, I cannot deny that supposition, but the Grimwald, Nox, and Balduke share a pervading connection with each other. Therefore, it is my duty, yada yada. Not noble. So, you're also aware of the roar we heard at the Colosseum. The roar? What if it was Aprilis? Straight up. For you to understand completely, you must see it with your own eyes. Words alone will only deceive you from the entire truth. There it is, the signature beating around the bush. Talking about it wouldn't solve anything. You still need to go to the entertainment district to find out where that roar came from. Alright, cool. No, there's no landmark here. Chat, I am so high up here. Might be blasphemy of me to say it, but she felt like Joshua to Estelle's Reen. The only games I played are Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2. So, I do plan to go back and play Sky next in my Trails series. I actually recently finished Cold Steel 2. The playthrough's on. It's not all on YouTube. It'll all be on YouTube this week. I think everything, like, there's only like 15 videos left to be uploaded. It's almost all on YouTube now. But my YouTube channel has Cold Steel 1 playthrough finished, and 2 is finished, but I have to upload the rest of it. But Trails in the Sky is my next Trails game before we go to Cold Steel 3 and 4. You mind? Yufa, you're gonna take quite the adjustment here. I should change your type to a Pierce. Yeah, let's do that. Let me take out... Oh, you don't have it anymore. Let's give you the Pierce thing. Pierce Talisman, because we have a Krisha... No, or we can give... It doesn't even matter, honestly. And I guess we'll give you... SP plus 5, I don't know. Oh, we got a lot of Cold Steel talk. Great game. Not one of my favorite... Like, I loved Cold Steel. It was a really great experience. I really just love... I think I'm just really invested in the Trails games. I can't wait to go back and play the others. Because, like, Cold Steel 1 and 2 especially really have so much care put into them. And I just love the effort that Falcom goes to write them and stuff. The writing in them is just so uncomparable to other RPGs I play. I just adore Cold Steel 2. Cold Steel 1's good too. But Cold Steel 1 is the build-up, and Cold Steel 2 is like the payoff. I really loved it. It was good stuff. I do like Cold Steel. I only really resonated with Emma, Eustace, Millium, Crow, Altina, and Ash. I don't know who Ash is. I'm assuming that's a character met in 3 and 4. Because I don't know Ash. Emma's good. Emma in the first game was like, eh. Emma didn't really get screen time in the first game. The first game, Emma was just really mysterious. The second game did her better justice, for sure. Eustace was, again, the same thing as Emma. I feel like Eustace was really basic in the first game, but the second game... Well, the second game didn't make him, like, the best character ever, but it definitely did some stuff that I really enjoyed. Like, Eustace did get a lot more attention to detail in the second game. Millium was neat. Millium's probably, like, I don't know. Millium's good, but she's probably one of my least favorites of Class 7, but she's fine. She got a lot of stuff at the ending of Cold Steel. I did like the moment, where Millium just shed a tear at the end of Cold Steel 2.
Ain't getting away from me.
And other than that, I think Millium's fine. I do hope she gets more in later games, because, like, they had this whole setup where she and Altina are apparently sisters. I want to see where they go with that. But Millium was good. From Cold Steel 1 and 2, she's fine. Crow, also, I'm going to give my opinion on Crow. Crow in the first game, I just thought... I really, when Crow betrayed us, I was just like, dude, I hate Crow. And the game's really making it seem like, oh, I don't care about Crow. But the second game really sold me on Crow. So Crow really grew on me as well. Second game did a lot better with Crow, and his death scene was sad, but it was well done, I think.
Look, the Monstrums are here.
Also, I should say this, don't spoil anything that happens in Cold Steel 3 and 4. It should go without saying, but you're new here, so I'm gonna explain it. I hate spoilers, so you could tell me, like, I'm fine if you tell me about Ash, but don't tell me more about Ash. Just leave it at that. I don't want to know anything about Cold Steel 3 and 4. I don't want to know anything about the Sky and Crossbow games either, because I'm going to play those first. So, spoiler-free, everything up to Cold Steel 2 only, because I only played those two. And Altina was good. I do think Altina has some stuff going on that later in the game she could be more relevant, so I look forward to that. But from Cold Steel 2, she was fine. She was, like, a villain, but at the same time, she, like, didn't really... She was a villain, but also at the same time, she really didn't, she wasn't really aware of what she was doing. She was really being used as a tool, so I look forward to seeing more of Altina, maybe, theoretically. And she had this whole dynamic with Reem being built up in Divertisement. I look forward to seeing where that goes. I liked Emma's connections and the lengths she went to help Reem, along with the dynamic she had with her family. I don't really know much about her family. I mean, I guess Celine and Vita are considered her family. Again, maybe Cold Steel 3 and 4 will flesh that out more. Who knows? But, yeah, about Emma, I really liked, I did like Emma in the second game. My favorite scene with Emma is easily the one when you find her and Laura at Lohengrin Castle, and when she's just, like, when she's revealing everything about the witch stuff, when she's, like, crying and everything and getting, like, emotional. I really like that scene. That scene was really good. Cold Steel 2 just had a lot of good moments. It was just so good. The ending of Cold Steel was also really sad. It was very bittersweet while leaving stuff open for the next 2 games. So I really liked how Cold Steel ended. I'm really glad that the game was like, yeah, it doesn't end at the Osborne twist. It actually ends with an epilogue. I'm so glad. I would die if that's how Cold Steel 2 ended. I'll buy some flour, why not? Yeah, overcome with guilt. Yeah, she was like, yeah, I really like that scene. Because, like, Emma in the first game, I see it like this. Emma in the first game, by the way, I'm looking for a Nox, and I'm trying to get this up, and then we're going to do the EOS, then the story. That's for people wondering why I'm just roaming around. Also, we're talking about Cold Steel. I enjoyed talking about Cold Steel because it was such a good game. Both of them were great. But, yeah, like, I really like Emma, like, how in the first game, she was just, like, you know, she was so mysterious. She was so mysterious about, like, her motives. Like, we knew literally nothing about Emma other than the fact that she was a hottie and a bookworm. But, and she was, like, smart. But we knew nothing about the witches, nothing about her backstory. She was just very sus. It was very obvious that something was going on. And the cat that's revealed later to be named Celine was following her around. So, yeah. That was really, really, really good. And that scene where she was like, I like the way that Green UEF worded that, overcome with guilt. I wouldn't thought that is what it was. I wouldn't have thought to say it like that, but it makes sense that's how it was. But it was really good because, like, again, Emma was just very mysterious, and I feel like in Cold Steel 1 she was just very bland, and we really didn't get much. We really didn't get much of Emma in the first game of, like, being, like, you know, every character I feel like in Cold Steel 1 got that moment where they're, like, you know, they had something they believed in and we got to see a side of them that we never saw, but Cold Steel 1 never gave that to Emma. And Cold Steel 2, like, she was hiding everything, so, like, obviously she had a lot to let out. It's just realistic. She felt bad about hiding everything, but I guess she had her reasons. I mean, I still think she shouldn't have hid everything for that long, but,
We did it!
But yeah, I don't know. I still think she shouldn't have hit it for that long. But, you know, they still did really well with Emma in the second game. Like, the first game, Emma's one of my least favorites. Her saving grace is the fact that she's a hot waifu. But in the first game, she's one of my least favorites. But the second game, she's, like, probably one of my favorites. I'm mixed on Celine giving her a personality. Sindiri's annoyed the crap out of me. I don't really like Celine either. Celine's probably one of the worst characters in the game. Celine's not like a trash character, but she's probably one of the worst. And that's really good when you have like a game of phenomenal characters. And when you have so many characters. Okay, last Nox, I promise.
Let's take him out.
Ooh, this is a long comment. Won't go past the first 2 games, unpopular opinion. Aside from Emma Milliam, I like her dynamic with Hustis. I didn't have high opinions of the other female classmates. Elisa rubbed me the wrong way for obvious reasons. Laura was way too overhyped for me, and it only gave me more negatives for her than positives. Like she felt like the least necessary female party member. Fee doesn't have quite as much negative emotions built up as the others. She just felt there, unless Zephyr. I kind of agree about Laura. I don't dislike Laura, but I definitely think I think Laura's whole character is the fact that like she trains. The fact that she's a strong swordsman. I feel like Laura. I talked about this I'm gonna reiterate my Cold Steel 2 review, like a condensed version. If you wanna, it's not on YouTube yet, but it'll be on YouTube probably in the next week or like in the next few days. But I think Laura is very much like how I feel about Gaius and Elliot. Where they seem like fun, like they're simple characters, and like if you just push, like they have the base of their characters, and they just have to push that base a little bit further to make them more compelling. I feel like Laura, other than the fact that she likes to train and she's a strong swordsman, there's really not much to her. So I don't dislike Laura, but she's one of the mid to lower tier ones because of it. She had some stuff going on with Duvali, but it wasn't really that big. Like, you know, she saw Duvali as like a rival, but other than that, there really wasn't much to Laura. I don't know if the 3 and 4 will do more to change that, but other than that, Laura really didn't have much to her. Elisa, I agree. I didn't like Elisa at first. Elisa grew on me, though, heavily. Once Elisa apologized for the whole incident we don't speak of in the first game, I was all down for Elisa. I really liked her, I liked Elisa's, thing. I liked Elisa's, like, little dynamic with her mother. About, like, I really like the concept of, like, Irina. I don't like Irina very much. But I really like the concept where Irina was, like, you can't just say you're gonna, like, make these changes. You have to prove it to me. Like, and that's exactly what Elisa did. So I did like Elisa's little journey of, like, independence and self-discovery. Plus, I do pity Elisa a little bit. Like, I felt bad for her because, like, she was, like, not a noble. She wasn't a commoner. She was in between. And ever since her father died, she's been changed. Like, her mother changed. And all she had was, like, Sharon. She rarely had friends. So I pity. I kind of, not pity Elisa, but I kind of, connected a bit with Elisa. Maybe that's why I liked her, but, you know. Fee, I heavily disagree with. Fee was one of my favorites. I liked Fee. Because Fee, again, like, I really liked how Fee developed from the first to second game. I thought it was good. How she went from the first game not caring about anything and just like, you know, because she was abandoned by Zephyr and all that. And then she saw Class 7 as her family. Again, a simple character arc, but it works. Some of these are like simple arcs, but they work. I don't really care if an arc is simple as long as it's well done. The only thing I didn't like about Elisa, but this wasn't really Elisa's fault. I didn't like how the game basically, like, the game made it, like, very obvious that Elisa was the canon waifu, and I didn't like that. Cold Steel 2 especially, because they had that whole scene where Elisa was sitting inside Valimar. I hated that. Look, I like Elisa, but at least give me, like, a choice. It's kind of like the illusion of choice in a way. Like, I really hated how they had this whole idea of, like, you could romance whoever you want. But the game really, in spirit, kind of pushes you towards Elisa. Like, if you want to choose Elisa, great. But, like, I feel like they should really, like, make it a little more neutral. That's not Elisa's fault. That's just the game being like, yeah, Elisa, she isn't canon. She's poster girl. Well, she's obviously not canon. You could romance whoever you want. But if you played Cold Steel 2, they make it very, not obvious necessarily, but they make it very, like, clear that the game is, like, kind of pushing you to pick Elisa. Like, they give Elisa the extra point of picking her over everyone else, which I hate. like, again, like, she got a scene where, like, she was inside, where they were inside Valimar together. Like, I'm not saying give every girl a scene like that, but not every girl got an equivalent to that. It just felt like Elisa... I don't know. Again, it's not a big deal. It's not Elisa's fault. It's just, like, I really just felt like Elisa was, like, they really just really wanted you to romance Elisa for some reason. And Elisa's great, but, like, I don't know. Give us a little more, like, a little more reasons to pick the other ones. I don't know. Alright, we're gonna move on to story. I've been running around talking about Cold Steel while getting these Noxes.